How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. Looks like HoloChain, Holo, is back in action, up with 11% respectively at the time of making this video. I think that when we talk about Holo, it's important to bring up the various different things that we've been seeing happening involving data, involving what's been happening with Facebook and all these various different entities that have really been showing an example for what Holo could actually mean for the future of basically putting people in control of their own data. This is a conversation that's only going to be more and more pronounced in the public space as things continue to get going. So it's no secret that we'd see a cryptocurrency that does something like what HoloChain is essentially aiming to do, getting this much attention where the attention is deserved, respectively. So we're going to be dedicating this video to exploring a lot of the different potential that's in store for this cryptocurrency. We've been making sort of a series of videos regarding HoloChain lately that have pretty much been able to delve into a lot of topics that making a video dedicated to HoloChain I think is the right way to go, because it allows us to talk about developments that really go beyond blockchain. I think a lot of cryptocurrency commentators, including myself, get distracted by blockchain, because blockchain certainly is a huge innovation, definitely something that takes up a lot of it sucks up all the air out of the room, essentially, is people talking about the future of blockchain, and rightfully so. I mean, blockchain is a very interesting technology when you get right down to it, but what HoloChain really posits is an entirely new revision on this traditional concept. Now it's essentially innovating on cryptocurrency before cryptocurrency even has a chance to innovate the space itself. So when we want to talk about HoloChain, there's really one thing that must come up in the conversation every single time, which is use cases, which is actually being able to get HoloChain available in certain areas of society that are ultimately going to be making a pretty big impact on the way that people view their cryptocurrencies, and then how peer-to-peer is essentially going to be the way of the future. Now, we always talk about how the future is decentralized, and I think peer-to-peer really does encompass a lot of the fundamental philosophies of what cryptocurrency really does bring to the table. This sort of new vision of the internet. Each of us wants to have control over how and with whom we interact, and in order to evolve and thrive, our communities must support everyone's uniqueness. Yet today, our online relationships are dominated by centralized corporate websites, which is definitely a big area of conversation that I think is certainly going to be coming more into the limelight, especially with what we see happening with Zuckerberg and a lot of the different issues of focus that the management of centralized data. Eventually these things are going to hit the boiling point, and we're going to be seeing cryptocurrencies really getting a big amount of advertisement going their way, a lot of public interest. So when we want to talk about the white paper when it comes down to HoloChain, I find myself constantly referring back to this distributed computing platform have achieved a new level of viability with the advent of two fundamental cryptographic tools, secure hashing algorithms, public key encryption. These have proved solutions to key problems in distributed computing, verifiable, tamper-proof data for sharing. This is sort of the language that we see in the white paper, which I think that it's going in a very interesting direction when you want to talk about the current state of affairs, where more and more more people are going to be disgruntled with, especially when we start to see the repercussions of the storage of data. That is certainly reprehensible and will be, I think, getting a lot of public attention as things continue to move forward. Now, of course, we have to talk about how, Bitcoin being where it currently is, the market generally moving sideways, a lot of these different variables certainly very relevant to this discourse as well, especially in the current paradigm shift that we're witnessing happening. All the different symptoms of this sort of trickling down, in a big way, which is also another reason why I think it's important to make videos like this, so that we can actually give HoloChain their day in the sun, and essentially pay attention to some of these really unique projects that are going to be having a really significant influence once they get going. I mean, I always have to pay attention and constantly refer back to the fact that HoloChain has been around as long as it has. It's built such a great community around it. It's definitely exciting to see, especially in the current climate of today, where cryptocurrency is existing as it is. I mean, of course, this is an interesting article as well. JP Chase unveils cryptocurrency prototype JPM Coin. So, as much as people want to keep putting cryptocurrency on the back burner and basically criticizing the pump that we saw in 2017, essentially the reputation that cryptocurrency has developed thus far due to what I would term as unrealistic expectations, I think that it's always important to see articles like these, and a key indication of the fact that the powers that be are certainly paying attention to cryptocurrency, probably more obsessively than even the people on this community, this channel in particular. So I think that it's important to pay attention to how JP Morgan and a lot of these different large entities have been making a lot of strategic decisions to get themselves in place before the big cryptocurrency bull run, which we know mass adoption is coming, whether it's coming today, tomorrow, a month from now, or in certain times ahead. Bitcoin and all these things definitely do represent a key paradigm shift that's happening almost so fast that I think people are going to wish that they had more time with these prices to fill up their bags. I mean, it's pretty incredible to see. HoloChain, I'd say, is one of the most important technologies that you could be paying attention to right now, in terms of cryptos that are valued under a penny, that have real world applications and innovations that could really be making a significant difference in the day-to-day functionality of a lot of these different things as they continue to make themselves known across the public space. This is a pretty intricate conversation that goes hand in hand with a lot of the really relevant topics of discussion, especially as we see Facebook and all these different platforms coming to swift and steady decline, essentially due to their own misplaced storage of and treatment of data and all these different things. I mean, there's such an overlap, and I think that cryptocurrency and the decentralization of the internet is right on the horizon due to that fact. I mean, it's basically as quickly as it takes for people to wake up and smell the coffee when it comes down to it. But we've got this article right here. Brock Pierce plan to relaunch MT Gox, and this was an interesting article as well. Definitely one that I'm not going to be putting too much time into dedicating on this video, but it is interesting, and to see these sort of things happening behind the scenes, and we could advocating for bigger blocks. This is also something that we've been seeing, reoccurring time and time again, a conversation that needs to be had. And in other news, CoinSquare acquires Decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. This is a pretty interesting piece of news as well. Canada-based cryptocurrency exchange CoinSquare has acquired Decentralized exchange DEX, and of course, announcing the news on Thursday, the firm said the purchase comes it it acquired Stellar wallet block EQ last December. That product will be rebranded to become the Anchor wallet. So this is an interesting development for any of you who've been following that line of news and how gaming could drive cryptocurrency adoption. Now we talk about that. Pretty much any community that's built itself online is definitely going to be a pretty big variable, in terms of a lot of these things. Another reason why a lot of people pay attention to Tron and a lot of these different things, regardless of what your opinion might actually be. It's definitely something that's worth noting, worth paying attention to, in that regard. And of course, we're seeing the SEC has published Bitcoin ETF proposal. So mass adoption is waiting, I think, in the background. And I think once things take off, people are going to be surprised that things were able to happen so quickly. But of course, remember, this video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. No, obviously, I'm not your dad. This video is not advice. If you want advice, go and ask your biological father. But all that being said, if you guys are interested, you can connect with us on Twitter. That's at CryptoTuber for anybody who's interested. Yeah, all that being said, overall, my opinion on Holo hasn't changed much. I'm pretty much excited to see how the developments of especially cryptos that are aiming for this much innovation certainly do have potential in the long run. But all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe, comment, let us know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.